Hi, everybody, and welcome. This is Dr. Jane Smolnik. I'm a naturopathic doctor and iridologist with a practice in Asheville, North Carolina. So today I want to talk to you about the health implications of stress. Everybody these days is overstressed. One of the things I specialize in my practice is stress and fatigue conditions. Believe me, it's amazing to me how we've all been living under chronic stress on a regular basis. So I want to explain to you why this is so valuable and important for your health. So understand how stress is destroying your health. Would you like to live without accumulating stress? It accumulates in our cells. Do you have things like chronic digestive problems? Are you at risk for heart disease, diabetes? Is your energy low? Have you had weight gain? Do you have chronic inflammation going on? What about blood sugar challenges? These are all things that accumulate. So there are a number of significant sources of stress. Of course, things like financial stress, money. Everybody's worried about that. Work, economy, relationships. It could be family responsibilities. It could be health problems. It could be death of a loved one. Poor diagnosis for somebody we love, care about, even ourselves. Housing costs, personal safety. There's so many different sources of stress. Not to mention things like toxins, electromagnetic pollution from all the Wi-Fi, satellites, cell phone towers, that we're bombarded with on a regular basis. So every single person I see is really under a state of chronic stress, and this needs to change. But why is this so important? Do you know, back in 2009, the National Institute of Health said 85 to 95% of all disease is caused by stress. Do you know today they're saying 100% there's underlying stresses, and I'll explain that. It just gets to be too much. There are different types of stress. Some stress can be positive in a sense, where we get stressed, we get excited, we get motivated, we get enthused. That's not so bad. Tolerable is when we have stress that can be serious, but it's temporary. Our body knows how to respond, do what it needs to do, and then go back into a healthy balance. What's toxic stress is prolonged activation of the stress response. And that can be really difficult. So let me explain some more about this. There is a stress curve. You know, we all have our comfortable stress levels. I call this our motivation levels. And we have kind of a plateau or a place where we can deal with stress. And sometimes a little bit of stress motivates us to take action, to do more. But when we are over our comfortable stress level, and some people can tolerate more than others, when you're over your comfortable stress level for an extended period of time, things start to go downhill. You start to get fatigue, exhaustion, anxiety, panic, sleep problems. The body starts to break down. So what does stress do? It actually can create all kinds of challenges in our body. Our brain can become irritable, anxious, depressed, insomnia. We can have headaches. Hair can start falling out. I hear that a lot. Our digestive system, our heart, our lungs, reproductive organs, skin, muscles, everything can start to decline. So if you've had prolonged or excessive stress, you need to pay attention. Are you an overachiever? Are you a go-getter or leader? I know I have been for many, many years, and I went into adrenal exhaustion myself. Are you tired, not sleeping great? Do you have a hard time relaxing your mind from tension, worry, thinking, being anxious? How's your digestion? How's your sex drive? Are you gaining belly fat? Are you aging too quickly? Do you have aches and pains? Perhaps you realize that it's time to learn more about this and what you can do to support your body. Your health has been affected if you've had prolonged stress or excessive stress. There's no doubt about it. And there's a whole cascading effect that occurs to the body, utilizing more of your metabolic resources and energy to respond to the imposed threat. And it leaves less resources available for our regular normal functions, like sleeping, renewing our body, digesting, resting, and repairing. According to Hans Selye, every stress leaves an indelible scar, and the organism pays for its survival after a stressful situation by becoming a little bit older. So he was really a very famous endocrinologist who conducted extensive research on stress and the effect on the body. So this is his belief on how stress affects the human body by aging. And I want to explain to you why that happens. Oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is free radical damage. Stressors create free radicals that are considered the main cause of aging and over 220 diseases. According to PubMed.gov, which is our National Institute of Libraries Health Library of Studies and Research, there are over 170,000 studies linking oxidative stress, which is damaging our cells, to all disease. Something to consider. So what happens when we have free radical oxidative stress damage? Our cells, the organs, the glands, the functions of the body start to decline because they're being damaged by too much stress. The heart doesn't function as well. The skin can have challenges, the kidneys, the joints. We can get arthritis, pain, muscle joints. Lungs can have a problem. The brain starts to decline. Our immune system, also, we can get autoimmune conditions, chronic inflammation, fatigue, irritable bowel. So endothelial dysfunction, hypertension, cardiovascular disease, diabetes, a number of different things, macular degeneration. So this is something that's very important and very serious that you need to learn about, to pay attention to for your own health and well-being. Know the different stages of stress. There's acute stress, which is our body is designed to deal with that. When we have an initial threat or danger, we immediately activate that fight or flight response. We release stress hormones such as adrenaline, noradrenaline, and cortisol. Ideally, they enable us to do things to deal with the stress. It reduces our ability, though, to digest, to increase our heart rate, turns glycogen into glucose, to get more blood sugar into the, sugar into the bloodstream so we have energy to go run, fight from a tiger, things like that. That's okay, but that should only happen maybe twice a month, and then our body needs to come back down to balance and go back to normal. But the adaptation stage is when we've been under chronic stress for an extended period of time. We really can't fully relax and let go. So our body's defenses become weaker. We have to now repair some of the damaged tissue that's going on, and we have to lower some of those damaging stress hormones. Although the body's shifted into this stress response, it remains on guard. I see this a lot. People are like, no, I'm good, I'm on, I feel great, but they're really in a chronic stress response, and their ability to digest goes down. Their immune system starts to decline. They're not sleeping great. A number of things may continue, and your body can only do that for so long. And then after a bit, you go into the exhaustive stage. After a while, your body says, I just can't keep doing this. This occurs after prolonged periods of stress. The body starts to lose its ability to combat that harmful impact of stress hormones. The adaptive energy is drained out. The body's considered, you're in burnout, you're in stress overload, exhaustion. And this can lead to health problems more quickly. I mean, I did this, I was going and going and going for years. I was flying and traveling and teaching, and I was running a company, I was teaching courses, I was doing too many different things. Went through divorce, relocating, a number of different things, and I crashed. Because after a while, my body said, okay, you can't keep up with this. You need to repair, recover, renew, rebuild yourself. And that can take time. You don't want to get to this stage if you can avoid it. So here's how it works. When ideally the parasympathetic nervous system, which is part of our autonomic nervous system, as well as the sympathetic. The parasympathetic, which you see here on the right side of the left side of the screen, that should be dominant. That's our ability to rest, repair, renew, digest, sleep, do all our normal functions. When a stress occurs, that parasympathetic goes down and the sympathetic kicks in and says, oh, I got to deal with stuff. It accelerates the heartbeat. It inhibits the flow of saliva. It dilates the bronchioles. It inhibits peristalsis secretion. Your body says, I don't care about eliminating right now. I'm going to turn any kind of glycogen I can find into glucose for sugar. I need the energy. I'm going to excrete adrenaline, cortisol, noradrenaline, stress hormones, and all these impulses go into the nervous system and up into the brain. And that's okay when we need to do that, such as an accident or a trauma occurs and we need to kick into high gear. But ideally, we need to calm that down. When you're in a chronic stress response, that doesn't happen. We don't calm that back down. This occurs for so many people now. And then there's a cascade of health effects that happen when you're in a chronic stress response. Your body has a problem with blood sugar. It can become more difficult to control. Many people experience hypoglycemia and insulin resistance, which can actually lead to hyperglycemia and type 2 diabetes. We can create that just by having too much stress. Your body will take anything it can find, even any kind of starch, and turn it into glucose for sugar. And then your body's dealing with too much sugar in the bloodstream chronically, excessively. And then your insulin receptors say, I can't keep doing this anymore. Okay, chronic digestive problems occur. No matter how much you try to supplement to correct it, you've got to relax the stress response. Otherwise, you don't have enough metabolic resources to sit and digest properly. Remember when we were kids and our parents said, after you eat a meal, you've got to sit and relax for 30 minutes before you can go, swimming or running or playing or doing things that are actually a little bit stressful for your body. It's like you need to calm the stress. All of your endocrine glands start to become poorly functioning. It can actually pull down our adrenal gland and our hypothalamus pituitary gland, even our thyroid, our pancreas, and even our ovaries or testes all start to become underactive. They are not functioning as well. When there's too much cortisol in the system, that can be damaging as well. Your immune system will start to decline as well. You can easily catch colds, flus, bronchitis, asthma, respiratory conditions, more so when you are in a stress response or adrenal fatigue. And it can take you much longer to recover. So if you get a cold or a flu or bronchitis and it's taken you weeks to recover instead of just a few days, that's a sign that your body's fatigued, exhausted. So some people can develop autoimmune conditions too. Too many free radicals accumulate in the body. Sexual dysfunction becomes a problem, not just for men, but for women as well. When your body is in a chronic state of stress and it's in a survival mode, your body says, you know what? Reproduction right now is not vital to life, so it reduces circulation to the reproductive organs first because it says, I need more energy in the heart and other areas that are much more important. Our hormone production goes down. Testosterone, DHEA hormones can be greatly reduced as well, contributing to problems. And our cardiovascular system takes a huge hit. When we have stress, it creates stress tears in the endothelial lining of the arteries, which creates more plaque. Our nitric oxide production gets decreased, as well as energy production like ATP. I'm going to explain this in a minute. We can have more pain, inflammation, feel more fatigued. This increases our risk for heart disease. So are you at risk? Do you have any one of these challenges or problems? Do you have high blood pressure, a family history? Do you get easily winded walking up and down hills or stairs? Do you have high cholesterol or triglycerides? Are you overweight or obese? Do you have diabetes or are pre-diabetic? How about fibromyalgia? Are you a smoker? Do you have low energy, erectile dysfunction, estrogen imbalance, cold hands or feet, prolonged or high stress? Any of these things puts you in a high-risk category. Pay attention to that. You can reverse it 100% if you know what to do. So what is the one miracle molecule that most of us are low in? Nitric oxide. It opens up the arteries, strengthens the endothelial lining, which is the lining of all of our arteries, and improves our circulation. It also relieves inflammation and pain. It causes vasodilation. It dilates and opens up the arteries, improves circulation. Light therapy is excellent for increasing nitric oxide in the body. The amino acids L-arginine and L-citrulline in very specific doses increases nitric oxide and strengthens the arteries. There's one particular supplement I use quite a bit, both for myself and in my practice, which is a very high potency L-arginine, like 5,000 milligrams with 2,000 milligrams of L-citrulline, as well as K2, vitamin D3, and a couple of other things. If you want more information, let me know, because within 10 to 30 minutes, it helps to increase your nitric oxide, that miracle molecule, to really help you lower your risk for heart disease and improve your circulation. So why is that so important? Nitric oxide really is valuable for your endothelial health. If you look at this picture, the endothelial lining is a very thin lining. It's only one cell thick, and it lines all of our 100,000 miles of arteries in our body. Over the years, we get stress tears in that lining from burning up more nutrients when we're stressed. And our body's designed beautifully to help us. So it comes along and it patches it up with white blood cells, platelets, plaque, cholesterol, whatever it can find. And I had low cholesterol, but I had high plaque from too much stress. Plus, if we have chronic inflammation where we're eating a lot of processed food, inflammatory foods, the inflammation can constrict the arteries, and now the flow is greatly reduced. And you're at much higher risk for heart disease. That can be corrected 100% naturally. So nitric oxide was actually labeled the molecule of the year in 1992. It's produced by the endothelial cells along all your 100,000 miles of blood vessels, keeps the blood vessels open, elastic, and functioning well. And it is considered the new metabolic pathway. It's everywhere in the body, and it's needed everywhere. According to Dr. John Cook, he said most Americans are not producing enough nitric oxide in their blood vessels. How about your energy? Is your ATP low? ATP, which is adenosine triphosphate, is a common denominator of any kind of fatigue conditions, chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, a number of things. Chronic heart disease often follows decreased ATP production, and heart failure can happen because there's not enough energy for the heart muscles to continue to pump. This is essential. Other age-related conditions that reduce ATP production are like heart disease, angina, arrhythmia, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and Huntington disease. So what about the mitochondria? Your ATP is actually produced in your mitochondria. Every single cell in your body, you have trillions of cells, has hundreds of mitochondria. They are the powerhouse, the energy producers of our cells. That's how the body works. Our mitochondria produces cellular energy, which is adenosine triphosphate, ATP. Also, it maintains our glutathione levels so we can detoxify, protects our DNA, signals cell reproduction, cell apoptosis, cleans up the cells, maintains cell electrochemical integrity. Do you know all conditions that create fatigue? If you have any fatigue, your mitochondrial production is lower. When we're stressed, we're damaging the mitochondria and we're producing less and less, and our energy goes down. Mitochondrial dysfunction is really at the core of all these different diseases. Poor energy, fatigue. I mean, look at all these: fibromyalgia, arthritis, depression, Alzheimer's, cerebral palsy, heart disease, pancreatitis, autism, Parkinson's, cancers, diabetes, you name it. Poor mitochondrial function. And one other thing to think about is what they call the secret killer. The underlying cause of chronic illness is heart disease, including heart disease, and pain and aging is inflammation. We have chronic inflammation can be helpful when you have a cut or an injury, but we have chronic inflammation that can be damaging. Things like stress creates inflammation, microbial invasion, things like parasites, bacteria, viruses, funguses, mold in the body, injuries, illness, burns, poor diet, toxins create chronic inflammation. Sometimes people have no clue. They're taking all these anti-inflammatory things, and yet, on the other hand, they're pouring in all these inflammatory foods and soft drink and soda and sugar and wheat and processed food, and they're just pouring inflammation in their body, and then they're taking something to stop it. It's really a vicious cycle that's silly. It's dumb. So here are some of the diseases that are associated with silent inflammation. Silent inflammation means you might not have pain, but there's chronic inflammation. Obesity, metabolic stress syndrome, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, cancer, arthritis, any inflammatory condition, which is an itis, like sinusitis, allergies, asthma, Alzheimer's, all have chronic inflammation. So let's see what we can do about this. Welcome to the stress-free zone, okay? What if you can lower your stress, lower your chronic inflammation, lower the damage that occurs in your body? Stop stressing and start living. There's no greater wealth in this world than peace of mind. When was the last time that you felt deep peace? Just peace, no stress whatsoever. Here are a few steps for self-care. If it feels wrong, don't do it. Say exactly what you mean. Don't be a people pleaser. You can't please other people. It just stresses yourself. Trust your instincts. Never speak bad about yourself or anyone else. Never give up on your dreams. Don't be afraid to say no, and don't be afraid to say yes. Be kind to yourself. Let go of what you can't control. Stay away from drama and negativity, and most of all, love. Love yourself and love others. And get out in nature more. Nature is cheaper than therapy. Nature helps to calm and balance. You can't take a walk in the woods and stay angry and stressed. We end up attuning ourselves to nature and the forest and the water and the trees, and that calms us down. Also consider stress-reducing foods, whole foods that are very rich in fiber, very rich in omega oils. Turkey is very rich in tryptophan, vitamin C, a number of things that help our body function better. Whole, healthy foods. Our body's designed to recognize these and knows exactly how to utilize all the nutrients that it has. And you need more nutrients when you're stressed. Your body burns them up. Here are some different ideas too. Things like yoga, tai chi, qigong, massage is stress releasing. Deep breathing instantly calms the body. Biofeedback, meditation, music. I love music. Art is helpful for so many people. EFT, the tapping. Flower essences can really calm, and essential oils. Homeopathic stress reducers, as well as light therapy, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. That's huge. Sometimes crystals and gemstones can be helpful. Guided imagery, using herbs, changing your diet, getting acupuncture, self-hypnosis, psychic healing, energy healing, counseling. Physical exercise is excellent. Sometimes even just sex is great. Or getting adjusted when you need to. But I want you to discover this big breakthrough. You can turn on your body's natural ability to reduce all that oxidative stress that's accumulated by 40% or more in the first 30 days by taking one natural pill, which is an NRF2 activator. This is considered one of the studies. Washington State University said this is now the most extraordinary preventive breakthrough in the history of medicine. NRF2 activation. It's not a supplement, it's an activator. If you want to know more about this, get in touch with me and I'll send you a lot more information about that. NRF1 activation is another new solution for mitochondrial damage and dysfunction. It helps to increase your cellular energy, that ATP. It strengthens, it activates your mitochondria, elongates it, protects it, produces cellular health, improves your sleep quality, cellular repair. So boosting your mitochondrial function and their ability to network is excellent, and it supports your DNA and chromosome integrity. Again, just one natural supplement. Easy. Activate that mitochondrial dysfunction, increase your energy, calm that stress. And then light therapy is one thing I've been using for over 10 years. I have been one of the trainers of the advanced certification courses of Souls Academy for light therapy, and I've been teaching this for a number of years. So this is powerful, effective, safe, and affordable technology that's revolutionizing medical treatments for pain, neurological disorders, neuromuscular, neuroskeletal disorders as well. So quantum healing with light photons is poised to become mainstream in medical practice. And in 10 years, I've seen this just explode. We use light therapy pads with red, blue, infrared LEDs pulsed with custom frequencies, and I'll tell you what it does. It actually starts to release nitric oxide in the body, opens up our nitric oxide production, increases our circulation, increases new capillary production, stimulates collagen production, increases your lymphatic activity, increases RNA and DNA synthesis, stimulates fibroblastic activity, phagocytosis, which is cytosis, is actually cleaning up damaged cells and toxins, getting rid of them, increases osteoblast which actually strengthens your bones and your calcium production in your body, instead of many things like pharmaceuticals, coffee, different foods, acid-forming foods, create osteoclasts, which pull calcium from your bones. Okay, so using LED light pads with quantum frequencies, specific frequencies, can relax that stress response, allows that parasympathetic to come back to normal, into a healthy balance instantly. The body now has more energy for normal functions, and it responds to stress much more effectively. This helped me tremendously to recover. Plus, it normalizes the regulation of the nervous system, reducing stress, improves your blood flow to injured tissue, relieves pain, inflammation, promotes faster healing, and increases that production of nitric oxide. So get your happy on. Know how to take care of yourself. Reduce that stress. Reduce that inflammation in your body. When you release stress and really learn how to take better care of yourself, you can eliminate your risk for heart disease naturally, completely. I've done that for myself. I have it on both sides of my family. And I was at a high risk category 10 years ago. Not anymore. Digest, sleep, rest, repair better. Okay, let your body heal better. Let your immune system become strong again. Release the tension and the trapped emotions that wrap around our heart. Become more loving, tender, compassionate with ourselves and others. And care about the quality and value of life that others experience beyond our circle of just close family and friends. Have more energy, more joy and balance in your life. Create strong personal relationships, setting clear and effective boundaries, and embody real tenderness toward ourselves and others. These are some of the things that will come back into balance when you let go of chronic stress. So healing the stress, rebalancing the body with love, light, and vibrations is essential. Please contact me for more information. My name is Jane Smolnik. My number is 828-777-JANE, or you can visit my website at ultimatehealing.com. Feel free to send me a message, or if you're interested in more information about light therapy, NRF1 or NRF2 activation, or what supplement I use to increase nitric oxide, I'm happy to share that with you. So I hope that helps, and let me know if there's anything I can help you with. So please learn to take good care of yourself. Thank you.